Konnichiwa. Good morning, everyone. I'm Shalom, and today I would like to share with you all my experience I had the pleasure of experiencing in Japan. Yes. So this will be a brief overview as to what we'll be covering today, what my experience will be explaining about. So I'll begin with an introduction as to what exactly company I worked at, what's the background of that company, and how I got the chance to get this interview. So first and foremost, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the PCCOE International Relations Cell, and a huge thank you to Dr. Roshni Raut ma'am for providing me with the opportunity to actually go to this beautiful country. Besides the IRCL and Dr. Roshni Raut ma'am, I would also like to express my deep-felt gratitude towards Mr. Samir Lagate and Mrs. Swati Bhagat for sticking with us and helping us throughout this entire journey. It is strictly because of their hard work and their inspiration that we were able to get this opportunity to work in Yokohama. So the way we got this internship was through a aptitude test as well as a small 10-minute interview which was conducted in Japanese. So there were 4 of us total who took the aptitude test. It wasn't that difficult, but it still was too important as it would test our thinking speed and our thought process during the test and how students tackle problems. That is what this aptitude test was there for. The second part was the aptitude, the interview. In this interview, it was conducted in Japanese. The reason for being conducted in Japanese is because they wanted to not only see our proficiency, because despite us not being able to speak Japanese proficiently, they wanted to see what our, again, like the aptitude test, they wanted to see how students tackle problem. So for example, I'm not able to speak Japanese. How would I approach the problem? Would I immediately pull out my phone? Would I try first? Or would I consult someone? That was the reason for this interview as well. So we landed in Narita airport on the 1st of June, and we had taken the Singapore Airlines with a small layover in Singapore. The first impressions of Narita airport was astounding to say the least. I mean, it's Japan, everyone's excited to be in Japan. So when we landed in Narita, I kid you not when I say this, that I've never seen so many foreigners in one place as I have at Narita airport, at the immigration line especially. The Narita airport actually has 2 train lines that can take you either the north of Japan or south of Japan depending on where you want to go. The train we took to Yokohama was the Narita Express, and it took about 1.5 hours to reach there. This was our humble abode for a month. And also a huge thank you to Yuki-san. Yuki-san was our guide and also a person responsible in this entire experience. Yuki-san personally came to Yokohama station to meet us, to greet us, meet and greet us, to guide us, show how train systems work, how the self-automated ticket stations work, how the systems are followed, how the rules are followed. That's outside. And within the household, he taught us how the laundry is done, which days are the trash separated. He showed us the nearby kombinis and supermarkets and he recommended us where to get certain things for us to live comfortably. For them, for Yuki-san and our LSI and the LSI team, our comfort was placed at the utmost priority, which we found extremely great and new and unique. When we say Japanese people are extremely hospitable, it was quite fun and quite moving to experience it firsthand. Now a little bit about our internship. Our internship timings was from 9 o'clock to 3 in the afternoon. And one thing about Japanese offices, when you say 9 o'clock, they actually mean 8:50. Any Japanese office you work to, you have to reach there 10 minutes before the actual timing. And Japanese offices teach you about self-sustenance. What you do in those 10 minutes, you prepare for the day. You clean your desks, you sweep the floors. They don't have peons like India for cleaning. Everyone is taught self-sustenance. Like I said previously, wiping your desks, cleaning the floors, occasionally vacuuming the floors as well, and washing your own dishes had you had brought your own dabba or bento in Japan. Our day started with a small 5 minutes meeting, in which that meeting would be having contents related to our daily goals, what we want to achieve, and a small speech for motivation. This is a photo of the company president, Mr. Shigeo Tomori-san. We are eternally grateful to him for providing us this opportunity. Now a little bit about our life outside work. So everyone knows about Japanese kombinis and supas, right? Well, the variety in those kombinis and supas are just like, it's overwhelming. The amount of things you can get in those for quite a reasonable price, I would say, is quite astounding to say the least. Besides the convenience stores and supermarkets, the walkways and footpaths. I'll give you a small story. One day we were walking home from the office, chatting as usual, and it had been 2 weeks had passed since we were in Japan. So initially, of course, it was baffling to see how clean the roads were. But that day while walking down the street, there was an empty trash can, an empty can of soda lying in a bush. So that immediately caught our attention, which made me realize that in India, we see trash in tons of places, on the roads and the streets, in corners, and no one bats an eye. However, while walking on this clean street, as soon as I saw that soda can, it was like a speck of dust or dirt on a window. It's immediately recognizable, and it doesn't feel right being there. And another thing, there was an old guy who was walking in front of us. Despite it not being his trash, he went by himself, picked it up, and threw it in the nearest trash can there. This shows how much Japanese people, regardless of your age, value the cleanliness and self-discipline they have in order to maintain that cleanliness. This is a photo of a local supermarket. This supermarket was actually very convenient. It was like around 50 meters from my house, wherever I stayed in Japan, and you could get almost anything you required there. Besides the supermarket, there is also a small shrine. This shrine was on a small hill behind our apartment. So we used to visit it whenever we used to go for an evening or a morning walk. It was quite a nice sight to see. This is a small view from my apartment. You can see how clean the streets are. Now our favorite part of Japan, the weekends. The weekends we explored everywhere near Tokyo and Yokohama itself. But besides Tokyo and Yokohama, one change we decided to take was, instead of going to Tokyo and Yokohama, instead of the metro cities, let's go somewhere rural. So we went to Kamakura. Kamakura has a beautiful shoreline in which you can do various water sports activities. And below Kamakura, there is a small place called Odawara. I'm pretty sure most of you don't know where Odawara is, but that is actually where Yuki-san lives. Yuki-san, our guide, if you remember. Yuki-san was so nice, he decided to take us all to Odawara to experience a few sites, his local neighborhood, and so on. This is a view from the Tokyo Metropolitan Building at night. I'm pretty sure everyone knows where these sites are, Don Quixote and the Tokyo Tower, right? This is also another favorite site spot. It's Sensoji Temple. It's in Asakusa. This was the view we had from the port of Yokohama. It's an area called Minato Mirai, if you have heard of it. Like I said, this is Shibuya Street, and this is Kamakura, the great Buddha of Kamakura. A couple more photos from a bamboo forest and our garden. Us otaku nerds will definitely know where this is. It's Akihabara, of course. Anime, of course. And of course, Japanese delicacies. I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with soba, ramen, gyoza, and sushi. The one in the top left was something new to me as well. It's called coffee jelly. It's actually a popular eaten dessert in Japan. So if you're going to Japan, definitely give it a try. Now a few culture shocks. Now when you talk to people about Japan, you get the most generic things like, oh, they're so kind, oh, they're so helpful, oh, they're disciplined, blah, 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 blah. But going there and experiencing it is another thing. So these are a few culture shocks that we actually got to witness. The first one being the escalator discipline. Now in stations, generally when there is a crowd, you try to go wherever you want to go as fast as possible. And even though you are not in a hurry, fearing that you might miss the train, you also tend to go in a hurry. However, Japanese train systems are very reliable. So even if you are not in a hurry, you can actually chill out on the station. So that's where the escalator discipline comes in. In Japan, there is a small, it's not a rule, however, it's a mindset. This mindset is, if you are in a hurry, then you will walk up the escalator on the right side. And if you are not in a hurry, then you will quietly wait in line on the left side of the escalator. This shows how much Japanese people value their systems, their thought processes, and their respect for each other. You will never see a Japanese person waiting on the right side of the escalator. Another thing is the high-tech toilets. Funny story, my friend actually couldn't figure out the button to open the toilet seat when he had to go. So we all thought that was quite interesting and funny, to say the least. I actually have a photo of the train systems on the next slide, and you will be shocked as to how complex they actually are. And last but not least, we have the extremely but apologetic nature of Japanese people. In anywhere in the world, if you bump into someone, you are bound to apologize them, or at least it's a mannerful to apologize to them. Am I right? However, in Japan, it's quite the opposite. If you bump into a Japanese person from behind or even from the front, they will be the first ones to apologize to you. So we found that a bit excessive, but it's their culture. So we found that quite interesting as well. Like I said, you can see how complex the train systems are. If you look over here, the entirety of Tokyo has over 15 different metro lines. And the metro is so well designed that you can find a station within a 5-minute walk wherever you are in Tokyo. Here is a small photo of us at a local soba shop, and there is a robot waiter over here. So it is the Japanese high-tech toilets. This was our office toilet actually. And now I'm about to conclude. So I would like to finish off with what we learned. Now, when we learn about discipline, discipline in India and discipline in Japan are two completely different things. You learn about punctuality, you learn about time management and similar qualities in Japan, because everyone respects your time there. So you are bound to respect theirs as well. Besides discipline, like I said, the office taught us self-sustenance. Our experience at home taught us self-sustenance regarding the trash management, laundry, cleaning the office, tables, washing your dishes. Simple chores that we tend to neglect. They were put an emphasis during our stay in Japan. Patience and calmness go hand in hand. Like I say, everyone waits their turn. Everyone waits in line. Nobody butts in. Everyone waits at the red signal, which is things you would only experience in Japan, I would say. And last but not least, punctuality. Like I said, time management, everyone respects your time. Punctuality in Japan, you will get to realize the true value of even a single second, whether it be in the office, whether during outside the office, or during travel. You will understand the value of each and every second. Now these are a few things we miss. We miss our morning walks to the shrine I showed you earlier. We miss the punctual trains because, let's be honest, you will not be able to find that facility here. That's the food, of course, and nature at every turn. Now, nature at every turn is a funny one because even in concrete jungles like Tokyo, you can find beautiful gardens, shrubberies, and plants planted all around the city. These are a couple of photos of our last night. This is just behind. We decided to visit the shrine again. Here is the shrine. This is a small photo of this town or the neighborhood we lived in. This is the Kitsune shrine, which is right next to that. And we said it's the last day, so why not have some alcohol, Japanese alcohol to try. And the best part was, during our entire trip, we tried to witness the majesty of Fujisan, the majesticness of Fujisan. However, all 3 times, either the weather was poor, there were clouds, or it was just completely non-visible, even if the weather was clear. Fortunately though, on our flight back from Japan, we were able to witness Fujisan from our plane, which means there's a saying that if you see Fujisan, then you are bound to visit Japan once again. So I'm hoping that will come true. Thank you very much. And I would like to express a small message to everyone here. Studying Japanese is hard, but you must understand that with that difficult task overcoming, you will get that sense of fulfillment, that sense of achievement. So keep trying. Don't give up. You may feel burnt out, it's completely natural, but keep trying, keep going at it. And I'm sure that by studying Japanese, learn their culture as well. Inculcate these Japanese values, the Japanese values that were discussed about by prior guests, such as Kaizen, which means continuously improving yourself, discipline, time management, respecting each other, and so on. By inculcating these values in yourself, you will definitely be able to improve yourself, not only in Japan, but in India as well. You will be able to improve your values. Right, ここで終わりましょう。ありがとうございました。